Michael and this is DMS 51412.
Hi, I'm Paul and we're restoring her back to her former glory.
Hi, I'm Scott. Jump on board and join us on our journey.
And I'm Johnny, and welcome to Destination DMU.
Right guys, so now we are on to the other side, albeit slightly briefly for now, to remove the section of gutter up here to access the framework, because what we've done with the dome is extended the gutter a little bit, so it needs good metalwork to mate onto up here, so we're just going to make sure that is all pucker and restored so we can get the dome on in the next session, and then we'll resume our efforts from here once that is completed.
Yeah, so there might be a little bit of panel ripping action. As you can see, it looks like I've gone to town with a 12 gauge on it. So we're going to try and keep the first 4 foot, because with the size of sheet that we've got 4x8 sheet, so and these panels are about 8 foot long, so we're hoping that we can just have one join, bang a panel in, and jobs are good and saves us some work. But I think the first job we're going to have to do is going to have to purple disc the 4 foot that we want to keep in, because we don't know what's under that paint. So obviously if we find, utter annihilation, then we are going to have to rip the whole thing out, just like we did on the panel on that side. But yeah, so to start off with, we're going to cut out a bit of roof, going to get a small roof repair in, get it all shored up for the first 4 foot, and go from there. So, cue the montage. So now that we have cut it just behind this bit of framework here, we are now ready to rip this part of the panel out. What I've done is, as usual, come up with a pretty good method for it. Go along, find where they've welded it, then I'll come along with the big angle grinder here, go along, cut it all, rip it out, and thankfully I won't have to grind these little window studs / bolts, because most of them were able to come off with an impact gun, which is saying something. It would appear that the water has mainly leaked in from the bottom of this window. So that's what you're going to see now.
Right folks, what you're about to see is a video of me applying the Marine Spec Grey Primer, with which we put 2 coats on, and then you'll be seeing me putting on the B-Deck Barn paint, obviously in black, for which this is now the 2nd coat, and then you'll be seeing us putting the dome back on the unit, for then after that I'll be putting the 3rd coat on. So enjoy the video.
So as you would have seen, we've now got the dome on. A little bit of intricacies with that I wasn't able to go over earlier because, well, we were quite busy and it was quite interesting. We had to take some bolts off, do a few things, move a few things. It wasn't very nice. A lot of swearing happened. So what we've done is there is the dome and the body side. There is a layer of mastic in between them to seal them, and then the gutter goes on and there's another layer of mastic. So it's like a dome sandwich really between the body side and the gutter, all squeezing mastic together. So that's how we've done it. And on the top, it's just the dome onto the roof. And we've used penny washers for that because we learned a lesson the first time we did it, and we may have enlarged a hole slightly and maybe a crack. But we know now for next time that we need to put penny washers on. And why you can see all the doors open, that is because we've got the next pane, and that is the gutter. So we've got to now drill probably maybe a couple of 100 holes on the gutter. So that's what you're going to see next. So here is a little bit of a better view of the dome and the penny washers. We learned the hard way. We tried to just use these bolts as is, and we got about 90% of the way there. Came to the end where, you know, due to fitment issues, we had to just push a little bit too hard on them, and we did kind of break through. But we can fix that with mastic, etc. But that's a shame. But at the end of the day, we've learned from that. So now we will always use penny washers on them. They're all stainless. It's all stainless hardware, so they're not going to rust. And yeah, we learned our lesson. But you can see here a little bit more. All this black stuff is mastic that's squeezed out. We will trim that. We will go along after we've done the entire gutter and everything that's going to be masticked for now. We will go along with a Stanley knife and we will trim it all because we obviously don't want that. We want a nice clean looking dome and clean join. But yeah, you can see she's all sealed up now. Looks fairly good. Very happy with it. And you might be able to see down here, we have got the gutter, and you might have just seen a time lapse of that, or you might be about to see a time lapse of that. I don't know yet. I haven't looked at the footage for today. So, but we had to use ropes for that because we tried a little bit more conventionally with 4 people, and on a singular length of gutter that is practically the length of the DMU, so probably about 60 foot, we weren't able to distribute the load evenly enough, and we broke one of the welds just through overloading it. It really was, you'll see on the time lapse, it's like a snake. It's really flexible. So unfortunately, we just weren't able to support it well enough. So we came up with the idea of basically putting 10 ropes on it and then doing little bit by little bit. And that's worked. We haven't broken anything. Then we got it on the doors, and now it's here. It's clamped on, and as you can see, we're drilling holes, and every 3rd, 5th bolt, we're putting a bolt in to hold it there. We're going to get all the fitment correct. Then what we're going to do, as you can see, because this isn't painted, because we haven't had the chance to paint it, we're going to take it off, rest it on the top of the doors, paint anything that needs to be painted, put mastic on the back, then fit it again, seal it all up, put every single bolt in, and then we're going to come to this join here. Michael is going to spool gun it with MIG, because we've done enough aluminium welding now to know that, yes, I was able to get by with the method we were using before, but there is a lot more to do, and it's going to be far more cost effective for him to get a spool gun and get a small tank of argon to do it. So he will spool gun this when it's all painted and everything. We'll grind a little bit and then he'll weld it. So then we should have a singular aluminium gutter, all as one piece, which will be a really nice feeling, because the bit that fails on these gutters first is any mastic joins or any joins that aren't, weld pretty much. So it'll be a really good moment to get that welded. But apart from that, I will see you, or we will see you, when we next see you, wherever that is, because we haven't planned that far ahead yet, and we've kind of done all the jobs in the video so far, I think. But yeah, so you'll see whatever you see next.
Right everyone, so what I'm doing now, as you can see, is putting the cream undercoat on, ready for the gloss to go on top of the gutters and the window frames. And now onto the gloss.
So a quick little interjection to whatever you were watching, because I don't know what you'd been watching, but at the moment, currently fitting the gutter, and I thought it might be worth just giving a quick clip of actually how we're doing it. So as you can see, probably around here, we fitted the gutter. And as you can see, probably around here, we have put it upright and then made a channel with clamps on the doors, which for once in their life are helpful. And then what we'll do is, like kind of some track laying machines do, we will bend it in. So this section's on, that section's obviously away, and then as we get closer, we'll push it in, do a section at a time. So just like a little kind of a brief of actually how we're doing that, because that's our solution to it. And it's actually working quite well. You know, we've got the first meter on, all tightened up, and obviously as you can see, the other 15 meters isn't touching. And just to protect ourselves, you can see here the little bits of paper, they actually go on the mastic from the package, and they stop it from sticking to anything, including itself. So as we go along and as we're ready to push it on, we peel that back, push it on, line up all the bolts for a section, then do up that section, then take a clamp off, move it in, and so on and so forth till we've got the whole thing done. So back to whatever you were watching.
Right guys, so now we're going to be putting the front windscreens in. If you might be able to see behind me, we've already put one in, and yep, we'll get the next two in and show you how it's done. Right guys, so in this episode, you've seen us do quite a bit of work to this thing. We've put a cab roof dome back on with new paint and new mastic and gutters on the front and sides. We've ripped out a panel on the other side, making a start over there, and also put windows back in on the other side. So quite a lot achieved in this episode.
Yeah, so continuing on from that, we now intend to keep this pace up. We're coming into summer, so you know, we're hoping to get a similar amount in the future videos. So if you enjoyed this episode, let us know what you did enjoy and what you didn't enjoy, if there's anything we need to improve or what you think we could improve. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next very exciting episode.